Welcome everybody officially to Ring of Honor Global Wars United Kingdom. I am the simple man, the simple friend, the voice of for great football face professional wrestling. Damn it, my name is Noah Foster. We bring you into this unique, special live watch along exclusive as the holiday gifts keep on giving professional wrestling. I'm gonna go across the pond to Cardiff Wells, the Yuta Arena once again with Romero taking on, of course, Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion Michael Oku. Thank you for those that are tuning in live on demand. Please subscribe, comment, and tell a friend. Hope you all enjoy the conversation, the reactions, and overall the discussion. Nice to see the Red Pro ring announcer here tonight. And of course, the Suka Rock, Record Melbourne, representing the Don Callis family. Blech. Of course, the king of sneaky style, one of the most well respected still junior heavyweights on the planet. This is going to be a hell of a contest, though, with this speed demon. And I wonder if Amir's going to be with him. And of course, he wears the Red Pro crown. He is definition British wrestling. Michael Oku, the two-time Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion, held that title last for 216 days, known as OJMO, with the lovely Amira Blair. Of course, he's Muse. This young right up and cover, of course, we've seen previously in Ring of Honor, trained by Eddie Dennis, known as the master of the half crab at 32 years of age, 8 years involved in the game. You all might recognize this man if you've been following Red Pro Wrestling like I have. He's also been involved quite heavily in previous bouts against the bro of Will Ospreay. Again, we wish Will Ospreay the best in his recovery. And of course, Romero and Michael Oku, they have definitely exchanged a one-on-one contest before. Last time they two up one-on-one was during the British J Cup in 2019 for the first round. Michael Oku won that night. And the last time they met each other was during the Grand Prix International 2025 Torneo Simonetio, of course, in CMLL back in August. And of course, Nick Wayne, wily veteran here that, of course, surpasses the years of Michael Oku, both in life and both in wrestling. As honor again is real across the pond. Cheers to all those that believe in honor, Ring of Honor like I do. Again, you can watch along with me. Use the hashtag ROH Global Wars on the X and become a member of Honor Club today. And Continental tie up here right now with Rocker Romero and Michael Oku. Of course, New Japan, ROH, CMLL, AEW have been a strong, long-term foundation relationship with these conglomeration professional wrestling companies, which is really nice to see. And of course, try to get into a position to challenge for the Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Championship should Rocker Romero win tonight. And the current Red Pro champion, by the way, is Jay Joshua. Michael Oku was the 19th Ring of Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion, losing to Ricky Knight Jr., who lost to Shaw Samuels. There's a name you might remember from NXT UK. Go Roman Knuckle Lock as Jay Joshua now is the current and new Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion. And again, folks, as worlds collide here tonight at Global Wars, stay tuned for our coverage of World's End 1 week from this Saturday here at the Super Level Studios, live on HBO Max, of course, on pay-per-view. And Rocky and Michael Oku jogging for position here, now going back to the Greco-Roman single knuckle lock on control. And of course, the ROH Women's World Champion Athena will be teamed alongside Mercedes Moné to challenge the Bears of Rap for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Championships. We decided to do this because we're just having a lot of fun this holiday season, bringing it to give professional wrestling every day this week. I want to give a shout out, by the way, to those that are covering Wrestling Revolver, by the way, very soon here later this evening. So if you can, please stay tuned and follow them as well. Side headlock being applied here by Rocker Mel. Michael Oku closely inside of his body. Michael Oku, of course, previous challenger to MJF's American Championship. Been in the ring with Trent Seven and a who's who on the Red Pro roster, including Luke Jacobs. And a swing and a miss, the side step, miscommunication. Nice. Take him around there, Michael Oku. Follow drop kick, taking Rocker Romero out of the game for the time being. A little ability right there by the young, bright upstart here in the UK. Possibly looking for that half crab. He is known As the king of the half crab, Rocky scouting it, pushing Michael Oku to the outside. I don't know how he landed, though. He might have landed bad on his elbow. Rocky again, seeing a target, going to capitalize on it. We've also seen, of course, Michael Oku. Oh, God! Get his jaw just jacked now, but also in the ring with the likes of Kazuchika Okada, previously for the Continental Championship. Up in the fireman's carry. Face first goes Michael Oku on the apron. Again, Rocky Romero, folks, 43 years of age. The king of sneaky style has been involved in the game now for 28 years, trained by the likes of Togi Makabe, Antonio Nogi, Bill Anderson, amongst others. Mara Blair right now trying to strap Rocky Romero. Get a chance for her man to get back in this match. Cuffs the knee across the elbow. There's a cover by Rocky to the far leg, and Bro Martinez gets a 2 count. Doing good, Charles. It's nice to actually have a nice little peace, quiet, self-recreation on professional wrestling, fun and delight on a Thursday night. Because after this, I'm going to bed. So I hope that you're doing well and that your game is strong. And again, I hope to see you soon here on the Shenanigans panels. And maybe we'll even get you at some point on a watch-along. As, of course, we are 1 week away from Christmas. I hope everyone's getting all the gifts they deserve for those that are near and dear to them and doing something nice just because it's the right thing to do for somebody that you may not know. Michael Oku will not be taunted by Rocky Romero here, who's been acting very naughty this year. Now right in the eyes by the Kanestruki style, who quickly regains control here. And right now, Rocky Romero might be looking for those clotheslines. The wind up, looking to go forever. And follows in with the first. And 2 ever. And Mara Blair hates it. 3 ever. And it keeps going, and it just keeps going, and it just keeps going. Oh, man, and Oku with a drop kick out of the corner. That's one way to derail that forever clothesline locomotion. The mirror right now in the UK faithful here trying to hype up Michael Oku and send him back into the Don Callis family. Of course, we just saw Ring of Honor final battle. Bandito still the Ring of Honor World Champion after overcoming survival of the fittest, including not limited to Hechicero, Sammy Guevara, the Beast Mortos, Commander, and Blake Christian, capitalizing an incredible year. DDT! Plants the mirror on his head, slows in the cover, hook of the parlay, back pressing at 2 counts. And again, for those that are tuning in for the first time ever that we're covering Ring of Honor, we do this for all the biggest shows, preview special across all things professional wrestling. Shout out to W family. Shout out to my brother King, who I know is also having an honorable evening. ATW View and Pronto will be back next week, Monday night, folks, as we almost usher in the new year. It's not after the Christmas holiday. And we also, of course, do this for WWE. NXT, AEW, ROH, TNA, NWW, HOG, GCW, JCW, Wrestling Revolver, and so many other companies underneath the world of professional wrestling. Spring up the top rope, lands on his feet. Able to catch himself. Rocky catches himself on the apron. Out of the corner with the drop kick. Takes Rocky to the floor. I feel like Ring of Honor and AEW are my favorite things to cover. Speaking of Ring of Honor, the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship will be on the line, as we'll have a proving ground match possibly. As Red Velvet goes one-on-one with Session Miles Martinez, returning Ring of Honor for the first time since 2021. As Lee Johnson of the Swirlers take his shot against Lio Rush, and Nina Stamios renews a long-time hostility with Alex Windsor in one-on-one action. And Mark Davis goes one-on-one with Evil Uno all tonight on Global Wars United Kingdom. Will Yuta of the Death Riders will also have an open challenge. Frogberry flop by Michael Oku. Picture perfect wiping out Rock Romero on the outside. And clearly right now, this crowd is in his corner. Sending Romero back inside the ring. I wouldn't mind seeing more of Michael Oku, honestly, on my screen in Ring of Honor. Maybe I could see him versus Bandito for the Ring of Honor Men's World Championship. Just a thought. Oh! And Rocky Romero right now stopping all thoughts right now in his head. Catch him on the top rope and back on the driver's seat. And Rocky Romero right now trying to get the better. Former IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champion, former MLW World Middleweight Champion, former World Historic Welterweight Champion. And both these men finding out of the corner. Oh, big forearm. Rocky's still holding on, though. And big elbow takes Rocky down. Oh, got a lot behind that last forearm. All the way up top. Oh, Rocky taking out his base. Split the uprights on the top turnbuckle. Follow up Gamaguri. And once again, Michael Oku might be letting this crowd get into his head here, playing this match. As Romero looking for something big here out of the corner. Uh-oh. Butterfly. Oh, man! Romero with the butterfly with lunge arm drag for a 2 count. Immediately into Tujigatami cross arm breaker. It's a hell of a bat bump right now. Rocky Romero trying to hyperextend that left arm, looking for a submission, driving his boot along the temple of Michael Oku. Oku need to reverse the pressure or look for the ropes. Nice roll through. And the half crab! Half crab applied! The hand and the forearm, high, tight end on the leg. Rocky rolling through, though. Rocky, though, cross leg cover, reversal of the cover by Rocky Romero. Nearly cuts Oku for the 3 counts. Great scouting on the half clap of Rocky Romero. Got to give the man credit where credit's due. And off the rails to Michael Oku. Oh, man! T-bone knee strike to the side of the jaw. Oku up the top rope. Beautiful picture for a moonsault cover. 2. No! Rocky's still alive. Still holding on to that ankle, though. Do it, Michael! Do it already! Oku back in the half crab. Sitting in deep on it. Rocky still finding it, though. Trying to find saving grace to the ropes. Oku bringing it back towards center. And wrenching back high as possible. That's it. Rocky taps out to the king of the half crab. Hell of a win for Michael Oku tonight against Rocky Romero. A huge victory for the former 2-time Red Pro Undisputed British Heavyweight Champion. And Mara Blair couldn't be happier for her man. Beating a luminary, a Ring of Honor, a leader, a trailblazer of junior heavyweights all over the world, in and out of New Japan, and also Ring of Honor. And a well-tested, disciplined veteran of the squared circle. Major props to Michael Oku tonight. Good opening contest. Tremendous stuff, man. Again, king of the half crab. And a shout out, by the way, to a special guest ring announcer, Francesco Oliver, who is, of course, doing the ring announcing tonight for Ring of Honor Global Wars United Kingdom. And again, folks, as the holiday season is literally upon us and the holiday fun is about to begin, we, of course, will culminate this wrestling year at World's End. Stay tuned for our coverage. AEW World's End, 1 week from this Saturday on December 27th. It'll be me and who knows who else on the call. I can't wait to cover that pay-per-view. 1 week from this Saturday, folks. Mark it on your calendar. The last wrestling pay of the year after Christmas as we join the Dark Order. Get ready for a big meat fest as we have Evil Uno going one-on-one now with Mark Davis. And do you have your card still? Are you still a card-carrying member of the Dark Order? And by the way, shout out to the late, great, forever exalted Brody Lee, who, of course, recently celebrated, I believe, his 40th birthday. Speaking of birthdays, happy 50th birthday to Trish Stratus. And, of course, you can find Evil Uno on the All Elite Wrestling Gaming channel, Twitch, and, of course, the All Elite Gaming podcast. Recently was involved in Mystery Wrestling in Canada. There's Evil Uno, of course, disciplined out of Canada, from Quebec, Canada, 38 years of age and 21 years involved in this game. Previously involved, of course, in the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team division. Trying to keep the momentum going for John Silver and Alex Reynolds of the Dark Order as he takes on Mark Davis for the first time ever in singles action. The first time these two met was actually in Attack Wrestling for the Attack Tag Team titles. Aussie Open beat the Super Smash Brothers. Evil Uno and Stu Grayson back in 2018. Big old Dougzilla, who's been a force to be reckoned with here in freaking Ring of Honor. And honestly, the Don Callis family. Bit of a sour homecoming here for Dougzilla. As they were making their name as Aussie Open, you all might remember that. Kyle Fletcher and Mark Davis for a period of time during the UK and in and out of Rev Pro. They put Aussie Open on the map, honestly, too. Future ROH for Tag Team Champions, future NJPW Strong Tag Team Champions. And now just literally mercenaries for Don Callis, referee Bryce Rensburg for this contest. Oh, jeez. It's just a big old muscle fest right here. Of course, Mark Davis was also involved in that Dynamite Diamond Battle Royale just last night on AEW Dynamite Holiday Bash. And knife edge chop. Big knife edge chop, Evil Uno. Evil Uno not looking to be a stepping stone to not taken lightly in the midsection. And the Irish whip. Ducks down. Mark Davis miscommunication at the junction there. Evil Uno with the shoulder block. Knife edge chop. Mark Davis just runs through it. Takes the Uno down with the shoulder block. I feel like Mark Davis, since coming back from injury, is more lean than ever as well, which probably helps the fact he was able to stop Evil Uno in his tracks and take him off his feet. And shout out to good old JR, Jim Ross. May he get well soon. And shout out to, of course, oh! And Mark Davis might need to go to the hospital after chopping his hand against the barricade. I also want to give a shout out to Willie McKenzie, of course, longtime student of the final boss, Michael Satomura, who I know is undergoing her own surgeries here. Her and Shadow Martina used to be a duo for a period of time in Progress Wrestling. And I wish Millie the best in her recovery. Running elbow forearm to Evil Uno in the corner. Sorry, folks, I got hiccups. And again, folks, is professional wrestling a gift that has been good to you this year, or have you think it's been naughty? Let your thoughts be known in the comments. What sort of wrestling-based gifts are you going to get your friends are hoping for Christmas? Did Harley Cameron's little Carol of the Shop, AEW.com, influence your Amazon wish list at all? Nice scoop slam by Mark Davis. I hope that everyone gets what they deserve this holiday season. The nice gets what they're due, and the naughty gets what they are overdue. I don't think Olympic Cola is justified enough for naughty people. That's just me. Mark Davis right now getting the better of Evil Uno. Big knife, a shot, and a forearm follow-up. Almost 2-1. Of course, that's the sale of the Don Callis family. Was very close to seizing the championship away from Bandito. With that alliance made with LFI, trying to help them the early going. Of course, Tim McGraw got eliminated first, too. Everyone's delight. And Davis, oh, wow, Evil Uno slapping the taste out of his mouth. Swing and a miss, sidestep in the turnbuckles. Evil Uno stepping around with the German suplex, back up to his feet. Running drop kick drives Uno hard in the corner. In the front face lock. Uno might be on his feet here. Release overhead heel. Over shoulder heel, excuse me. Mark Davis in full control here. Like it is, going to cover with the knees all across the chest. Gets a 2 count. And of course, this man, one half, like I said, of Aussie Open. Also a previous member of the United Empire, crowns up as the remnants of the United Empire will take on unaffiliated War Dogs in 10-man tag team action at Wrestle Kingdom 20. Nice jawbreaker there in the stunner by Evil Uno. Uno right now. Looking maybe for a DDT or hoisting up Mark Davis for a brainbuster. I don't think Evil Uno's got enough strength to hoist Mark Davis up, though. I'm just saying. And clubbing him down. Think about it for those that tuned into our coverage last night. Also, the Continental Classic continuation with AEW Dynamite Collision Holiday Bash. We will be continuing that this Saturday. Stay tuned Saturday, 2:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. AEW Collision Holiday Bash, continuation of the Continental Classic. We also know Mercedes been able to defend her Repro Undisputed British Women's Heavyweight Championship against a local goer here. Cup 2, Schoolboy. You will not get a 2 count. Several times tonight, and Ring of Honor might be in that Hunt cover. 2 in the backslide. 2 count again on Mark Davis. And of course, with hashtag spoiler free, as we know all this stuff is taped, but we do this for the love of professional wrestling. Nice to Harris over there by Evo Uno, taking Mark Davis down to a knee and staggering the big man. Big boot turns sideways. Into a DDT. Sending impact. It's the arm over in the cover. And Marcus the Shore up at 2. Woo. It's significant to see Evo Uno get a singles win here on the Don Callis family in any capacity. I'm just saying. Global Wars UK past the crowd on hand in Cardiff. Front face lock here. Again, good old JR Jim Ross, my voice of professional wrestling. And that's just a big elbow to the face. Trying to rearrange the skull of Evo Uno. And running in. Oh, it runs to a boot, turns sideways. And Uno up and over. Impressive agility there. Crowd firmly in favor of the Dark Order. Clearly, they've joined the Dark Order. And Davis. Cat Mouse game in play here as Mark Davis dropped jaw first, the top buckle. And good smart move by Evo Uno going down from the ropes. Now going back up to the ropes, looking for the Swanton bomb, but hits the knees. Davis catching Uno, jumping at Seguri. Staggers Uno to the ropes, now following up. Oh no. Bam! Running, lariat, that's it. Devastating pumping bomber by Mark Davis, sucking the wind out of the audience, dropping Evo Uno for the 3 counts. And Mark Davis with the win tonight. In singles competition. Again, he could be a real threat to anybody as a singles competitor, being perfectly honest. We'll see what have to come ahead, of course, that Boxing Day brawl. As Athena has celebrated 1,000+ days as Ring of Honor Women's World Champion, together with Diamante and Billy Starks. But Billy, as Athena is looking for her Ring of Honor Women's Pure Championship, won by the virtuosa Diana Peraza. As of course that led to a tag team match. With a homecoming Madison Rain shout to Ring of Honor Class 1. What a reunion there. Instrumental in launching the Women of Honor division. They starts, of course, looking for revenge against the virtuosa Diana Peraza and taking over the inaugural class as the Fujiwara armbar forced Billy to tap out again. Athena apoplectic as we're backstage with the lovely Madison Rain. Of course, she's also a coach, by the way. And happy holidays, Hassan Games. Appreciate you for tuning in. I hope that you're getting everything you want out of the holiday season in our professional wrestling. Thanks for tuning in. Wow, 2025 is the 20th year of Masturbated Wrestling. Loves taking a step back. We knew about the present and the future. Former TNA Knockouts World Champion, of course.
So when Diana Peraza, one of my best friends, asked me to be her tag partner.
Diana Peraza apparently asked her to be her tag team partner.
However, I didn't realize once I got out there, maybe I have a little more left to give.
Oh, okay. So maybe Madison Ray might be a little more Ring of Honor.
I have how many rounds I have left, but my chamber isn't empty.
Chamber's not empty. Tina Diamante.
I'm saving 2 of those bullets.
I'm saving 2 of those bullets for you. Well, it sounds like Madison May has set herself up for a couple of singles matches. Well, that didn't take long to develop. As I welcome you in to the Nina Samuels Show, one of the most hated women in Pro Wrestling Eve, and a very familiar foe to Alex Windsor. By the way, shout out to my friend Mary Jade across the pond, who took on Nina Samuels on Spinebush TV and put her in her place after injuring her 2 years ago. And Nina Samuels, very accomplished, former Pro Wrestling Eve International Champion, the title currently held by Chris Statlander, making her Ring of Honor debut. Windsor! And now it's Windsor, not too far away from home at all, I would say. From Norwich, England, with a Ring of Honor record of 4-3, former undisputed British women's heavyweight champion, who I put as first name ballot to challenge Mercedes Moné for that title tomorrow. And of course, her and Nina Samuels have a very tumultuous history. 13 matches across 2 years. Their first battle was for the Eve Tag Team titles in 2023. The first time they met each other in Rev Pro was 2024, when it was the Cutthroat Collective, and they were on the same faction together. And of course, they had fought during the She Won in Pro Wrestling Eve when Nina Samuels beat Alex Windsor. Last singles encounter, of course, Alex Windsor beat Nina Samuels in Rev Pro just in October. See if the Code of Honor is adhered to. Referee for this contest, Aubrey Edwards. Let's hear it for Aubrey! Nina Samuels, of course, previously part of NXT UK, 11 years involved in the game, 37 years of age, Code of Honor adhered to. Respectable right there. A historic rivalry being brought here. I love this stuff. And of course, Alex Windsor was out indefinitely on the shelf due to a leg injury that almost cost her her career. Nice headlock takeover there by Alex Windsor. And of course, Alex Windsor has also previously been involved in the ring with Mercedes Moné for the TBS Championship during the Philly tour. The side headlock being applied right now. And these two know each other so well. So I expect this to be a very even bout. Nina Samuels, 3-time Eve champion, former Progress Women's champion. Never held the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Heavyweight Championship, though. And Alex Windsor, of course, not only a Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's champion, she is also a former World Sports Women's champion, and of course, Eve champion as well. Alex Windsor, known as Liberty, 30 years of age, 16 years involved in this game. Known Titanium. Nina Samuels, of course, does have a little bit of a Lucha Libre background that might. Oh! And of course, whipping the hair down to the mat will definitely help you in any sort of situation. You vote for Nina Samuels, son? Okay. Well, that's an interesting plot. Well, we'll see what happens here, because this is basically a rivalry renewed, and I would not expect this to be the last time we see these two go one-on-one. And Ring of Honor, AEW, or dare I say, Rev Pro ring. Nice escape. Deep arm drag. Of course, part of CMLL previously, Nina Samuels. In the row for Alex Windsor, nice drop kick. Good wrist control there by Windsor, of course, known as Mrs. Brawl. And a drop count. Windsor, a little bit of CMLL extreme base for herself. Nice cannonball. Forward somersault off the apron of the floor, wiping her out. And a smart move by Windsor here, taking advantage of Nina Samuels, who was looking for a bit of breathing room and got none of it. Of course, Nina Samuels also previously faced Chris Statlander for that Pro Wrestling Eve Championship in a rematch and lost. And right now it's Windsor hooking Nina Samuels up. Oh, man, but stun gun across the top rope first. And a high kick by Nina Samuels. But I say, Alex Windsor, disciplined in America, baptized in Ring of Honor as of recently, and All Elite Wrestling. Nina Samuels and her. And Samuels is very aggressive on the attack. Might be looking to send a message here. And of course, Nina Samuels That crooked, wicked witch smile. At least our #1 fan aid here for Pressing E. Breaking the eyes and fish hooking the nose of Alex Windsor. And I'll be calling for the break. And now, again, Nina Samuels, she's held a lot of titles during her career. So I will not take nothing away from her ability. I mean, she's held close to, I think, 10 or 12 different singles championships, including Lucha Britana World Champion 4 times over in her early start of her career in Mexico. And Windsor in trouble here right now. And again, Nina Samuels rearranging the jawline of Alex Windsor. Of course, I've always been a fan of Alex Windsor before I even knew she was married to Will Ospreay. I followed Alex Windsor during her career in Rev Pro and Pro Wrestling Eve. Hell, her last matches in Pro Wrestling Eve was against Suri and against Jamie Hayter. She was the half off the shotgun dropkick rebound looking for a leg and a 2 count for Nina. The eyes of Nina Samuels looking to pull the curtain on Alex Windsor's homecoming. Miss Samuels right now stalking Alex Windsor, planning her next move. This honestly was my most anticipated match of the night because I knew that these two are going to hit hard based on their history and the pride for British professional wrestling. Nice drop toe hold there. And and the double knees, a very lackadaisical cover by Nina for a 2 count. Got a little bit full of herself there. Everything Nina does, though, is always with just a negative intention towards their opponent, feeling her own ego. If even if there's the biggest ego in Canada, I see Nina Samuels as the biggest ego for women in the UK. And the chin lock applied right now to Alex Windsor. Windsor, though, fighting back. Swinging a mid, fetching vertical base, not that chop. Lining up the chest of Nina, as if she wasn't picking up already in her pink and black gear. This is their 13th match in some capacity together, by the way, folks, over the last 2 years. Swinging a miss, and miss again, miscommunication. Alex Windsor. Wow, man, just throwing herself for Nina. Nina Samuels and Sky Smithson, formerly involved in the E International Championship 3-way. Of course, Sky Smithson won that title back in March. Sky Smithson, Sapphire Reed, Anita Vent. There are so many incredible female competitors. Whoa! Blue Thunderbomb Alex Windsor with the cover, hooking in her leg, and a 2 count. Not a full revolution on that. Again, Blue Thunderbomb is one of my favorite moves, next to a good damn lariat. Now pausing for the sharpshooter, Nina grabbing the head inside Cradle, gets a 2 count. She had a handful of hair too. Big high kick, drops off to a knee. Now Nina off the ropes. Oh man! Scissor kick, is it lights, camera, cut? Kick on it too. And scissor kick to the spine of Alex Windsor. Blind shot, landing Windsor on the mat. I wonder how my friend Romero J feels about Nina Samuels now as of late after kicking her ass at Spinebuster TV. After 2 years of, causing her injury. Looking for the power bomb, but Alex Windsor finding out of it, up and over. Now Windsor, both women climb middle of the ring. Now Windsor fired up here, I like it. Windsor asking for more, Nina delivering in kind with these vicious elbows. Whoa! A short range clothesline by Nina Samuels. Drives through Windsor, taking her down. And Samuels says it's done. Oh, rising a press kick. Wait for that big boot. Oh, and a half flap by Mrs. Brawl to Nina. Now Nina's really seeing stars. And to the backbreaker by Nina. Samuels there scouting out Windsor's playbook. Great wrestling here right now by these two. Now Nina looking to follow again. Tries a cartwheel knee drop and hit them with the canvas. Almost Scorpio shears to Michael Satomura as Windsor throws herself for Nina with the lariat and both women down. This is why I love Ring of Honor, and this is why I also love the UK women's wrestling scene. High impact offense by both these crazy Brits. Dropping down to one knee. Both women in position. Driving out Windsor up against the ropes. Windsor right now trying to do something here. Of course, Nia Samuels from London. A big shot out of the corner. Windsor losing her footing a little bit. Of course, it's Windsor from Norfolk, England. You almost think these two are fighting for a championship. But now fighting for a position. Oh, God! Anarchist suplex. Wow, it's Windsor turning Nina inside out. Hook in the air leg. Back press. No! Kick out at two by Nina. And Windsor stepping over. Cinched in the sharpshooter. And Nina taps out. A great return home to form in the UK for us. Windsor here tonight in Ring of Honor, beating a very formidable former rival, Nina Samuels. Very game, Nina Samuels, though. That was a tremendous match. And coming up next, we're going to Feel the Rush as Lio Rush goes one-on-one with Big Shotty Lee Johnson when Global Wars United Kingdom continues. Oh, that was such a good damn match. That made me extremely happy. I love professional wrestling. And now we mix it up with the Swirl, Lee Johnson, who goes one-on-one with Lio Rush, looking to recover from his loss at final bout to Ace Austin, taking a big shot tonight at Global Wars. Ring of Honor record 35-28-1 for Big Shotty Lee Johnson, who has yet to hold gold in his young wrestling career. Of course, the great year 2025 has been for the newest team on the scene, the Swirl, Lee Johnson, and of course, Blake Christian wins over the freaking OGK, Matt Taven, the Trend, and of course, Mike Bennett. And Blake Christian, of course, part of Survival of the Fittest at Final Battle. I think Blake Christian's ego and his temper, though, cost him, though, especially when he got caught up in a roll-up and trying to break Bandito's arm. I still think Blake Christian and Bandito need to go one-on-one, but that's just, a sub-opinion. He is Crew. He is the bad child. He is one of the fastest athletes you will ever see in the ring with a record of 1-0 as he's been freelancing Lio Rush. And Lio Rush exploding on the scene, 11 years involved in this game at 31 years of age. Last time we saw Lio Rush, of course, wrestle was for the RevPro Undisputed British Cruiserweight title in a six-way, losing to Joe Lando, who is still the champion, by the way, in a field against Danny Black, Leon Cage, Robbie X, all those who, of course, watch New Japan Pro Wrestling know exactly who that man is, and Will Caven. Of course, Lio Rush has been all over the UK and London scene. NCL, Progress, RPW, RevPro, BEW, APC, and of course, Attack Wrestling. Attack Wrestling, of course, very familiar for one subculture. Of course, talking about Mark Andrews and Danny Luna. Blue Chip Prospect found out Maryland Championship Wrestling, of course. Lio Rush, former Impact X Division Champion, MLW World Middleweight Champion, House of Glory Crown Jewel Champion, and NXT Cruiserweight Champion. And of course, has far more experience than Lee Johnson in general in his career. Let's see if the Code of Honor is adhered to at all. And it is. The kicked in midsection, and Lee Johnson suddenly on the attack. Lee Johnson's only been involved in this game for 8 years, by the way. No gold yet in his young career as he goes into his 219th match. Irish whip, whoop. Of course, with Lio Rush, you don't blink. And of course, Lio Rush and Yo, former challengers for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team titles at Wrestle Kingdom. Lio Rush, cat-like fast reflexes, kick to the hamstring, took on Hiromu Takahashi for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, took the ticking time on to the limit. Standing switch. And so far, the velocity has not slowed down yet. Miscommunication, and Lio Rush takes Lee Johnson down the early going. Lee Johnson smartly going to the apron. The handstand kick drives Lee down on the floor. Whew. I feel like Lio Rush can literally ricochet more than ricochet. That should be the match for the AEW Unified title. And look at the fly and Blake Christian. Plan denied. Well, Lee Johnson taking advantage with the ankle pick. And again, Rush, great awareness, though. Falling through. Sunset flip. Lee Johnson. Roll through. Went for the forearm. Sliding forearm. Didn't connect. And Lee Johnson again, too evasive right now for one half of the swirl here. In between the legs. Now, of course, that's been the aim of his career. Looking for that cutter. Lee Johnson pushing him off, though. Lee Johnson has to try and imply his strength here. Might be the only Achilles heel. Lio Rush's speed. Again, the sidestep, and Lee Johnson driven into the announce table. And Rush now looking to fly with a oh man! Like a bullet with the tope suicida. Like Christian trying to wheel his partner back into this. Meanwhile, Lee Johnson looking to fly again, and oh man! And literally flies through Lee Johnson like a bullet. Second round connects. Yeah, Blake Christian right now seems a little bit concerned, but knows he can't get actually involved with the referee watching, risking disqualification for his partner. Ooh! Average shot lining up the chocolate side of the swirl. I just think it's ridiculous. Blake Christian, Mr. Vanilla, Lee Johnson. Yeah, we know whether the swirl. Now Blake Christian up on the apron, though. And Lee Johnson trying to take advantage, unable to. Finally hooks Lio up. Rush is down with a sidewalk slam with a little bit of revolution to it. And of course, Jay Lethal, of course, talking about the potential of the swirl. After Blake Christian beat the franchise of Ring of Honor, the former lifeblood of Ring of Honor, for those that follow Ring of Honor as long as I have. Irish whip from the corner. Hard Irish whip to Lio Rush. And a cover now by Lee. Gets a 2 count. What I love about pro wrestling is the impact it leaves you in the competitive nature you see inside that ring. And sometimes the story that I can tell you. But Bryan Danielson said it best. The story itself is the drive to be the best, or what you do in a match for the win. And I think Ring of Honor has justified that, oh God, since 2002. And of course, here in AEW, we compete. We don't cosplay. More often than not. And of course, the swirl of the Ring of Honor Tag Team Championships, currently held by Sammy Guevara and the Beast Mortals. Oh, wow, what a hard Irish whip to Lio Rush. Good grief. Oh, come on now. Blake Christian taking advantage here. Early cheap shot Lio Rush and gouging the eyes behind the referee's back. And just shine away like it's nothing in his freaking robe that is far less glorious than Bobby Roode's. Go figure. A cover, 2 count only. The only people that have ever been able to pull up a wrestling robe, in my opinion, is Bobby Roode and Ric Flair. And right now, of course, Lio Rush does not have his crewmate out here in Action Andretti. Lio Rush right now in a proverbial 2-on-1. Now Lee Johnson hoisting up Lio in the powerbomb. Lio finding back though. Able to get out of the position. Right now trying to rebuild some momentum here with those forearms, but Lee Johnson pop up and over. Lio Rush goes. Pause though. Oh, wait a minute. Rush again trying to evade. Combination offense here. Woof. I think that was like 8 strikes with a freaking forearm in the final shot. Runs into the back elbow though. Oxygen's got to be depleting here. Moonsault. Up and around. DDT to Lee. Lance Johnson on the crown of his head. I don't care if you have braids. That still sucks. I almost would think braids will actually be worth because literally that hair is cushioning into your skull. But hair is not the most softest material either. Great move here by Lio Rush. Turned the match completely around in his favor. Gets to the midsection, overhead shot combination. The Irish whip. Lio Rush with the ropes. Lee Johnson trying to pick up speed again. Evasive nature of Lio Rush. Now Lee trying to evade. And cutter! Cut up Fletch Johnson. Follow stunner. Lee Johnson, though, trying to fire through, and Lio lures him in, rolls through. Spinning kick. That might be it. That might just not leave lights out. Cover. 2. Oh. Whew. Sometimes I wonder with Lio Rush match, if I were to do it on fast forward, would I still be able to keep up with it? Some people probably would watch the Lio Rush match on half speed just to try and follow it. Playing for Lee Johnson to get back up here. Possibly looking for that rush hour. Bottom row, springboard stunner. Lee able to scout it. Now Lee, oh man, drives his knee into the forehead. Half and half on Lio Rush. Lee Johnson saying, I hate you. Lio Rush on the bottom rope, though. Catch up with the rush hour. That springboard, bottom rope stunner. Too much jaw jacking there for the swirl. Now Blake Christian trying to come into play again. And Lio wipes out Blake. Momentarily, meanwhile, Lee Johnson, though, the roll up. 2. Lio Rush. I stole it. Sudden 3 seconds granted for Lee Johnson to steal the win, much to the surprise of his own eyes, against Lio Rush. And distraction, the definition, thief in the night. Blake Christian, right place, right time. And a feet on the ropes just outside. Referee Brendan Martina. As Francesca announces again, the winner of this match is Lee Johnson. And it's not about how you win, it's the bottom line that you won. His 33rd Ring of Honor victory as Ian Riccaboni and Caprice Coleman, the voices of Ring of Honor, providing the stats, and Lio Rush being swayed away by the swirl here tonight. Like Christian saying, hit the roll, Lio, hit the roll. That's exactly how the swirl plan to start on Global Wars UK. But something's missing. Know what that is? It's River World Champion Bandito. Like Christian might be calling out Bandito here. I mean, I want to see Bandito. Why not? Ah. But why he's not here? Because stepped on, put him on the shelf. Blake Christian, you might be still around territory, but Bandito is still very much competing. Let me fire it up. Feel like someone else is on tonight. Someone in the back. Looks like Blake Christian is actually proposing his own open challenge. Be careful what you ask for, Blake Christian. You might regret it. You're calling out anybody in the back. Whoa, okay, this is unique. I got my vibe back. Been a long time since I felt this mood. Could be Angelico or Serpentico. And Angelico answering the challenge of Blake Christian. We got an impromptu match. Returning to the UK. And if it means I get to finally listen to this Bob again after a long time, I'm for it. Okay, as trainer Negro Navarro, of course. Talk about the Navarro special, of course, that Yabe style, that hybrid lucha technical style that, of course, Angelico loves to implement, formerly part of the hybrid too with Jack Evans. Let's see if Blake Christian bit off more than he could chew, taking on a submission specialist in his own right. Trying to get a sneak attack already with the sneaky entrance. Referee again for this contest, Brendan Martinez. Yes, folks, we have an impromptu match here in Ring of Honor because Blake Christian doesn't know how to shut his damn mouth. And Code of Martina here too, but a bird bell rings. We are underway. Of course, Blake Christian calling out Bandito. Blake Christian, who has come up short now on 2 survival of the fittest in a row, both at Final Battle. Last year for the Ring of Honor Television Championship. This year, of course, for the Ring of Honor World Championship for the first time ever. Again, Blake Christian, the man not like the attitude, but he has quite a strong win record this year in both singles and tag team action. So being in the franchise Jay Lethal, also part of that resume. It does feel like he should be in line maybe for a Ring of Honor World Title shot. Maybe Boxing Day Ring of Honor. But we know Athena, I believe, is going to defend or no, excuse me. Commander's actually going to challenge, I think, Bandito for that. Ooh. Or Lee Moriarty, excuse me, Lee Moriarty versus Commander Cover. Because we know we got a match for the Ring of Honor World Pure Championship. We don't have a match for the World Championship. So, jury is out. And of course, Blake Christian on the accolade in his young career. He's a former GCW World Champion. If I say, if y'all just gonna vibe, just gonna relax, you're just gonna let flow, let it go, man. That's the mood, that's the motion of Angelico. It's smooth like water. And Blake Christian with the insult, the pump kick. And a pathetic Fargo strut mocking Double J Jeff Jarrett. That ain't great. And of course, mocking also Jay Lethal, a man that he also recently faced. Now, I imagine Blake Christian wants Kimberly Johnson to have the Ring of Honor World and Tag Team Championships. Whoa! Flying head scissors there, takes Angelico to the outside. Now Blake Christian might be looking to pick up speed, ready to fly. Baseball slide, and Angelico steps out of the way. Catch him with a boot to the midsection. Irish whip, steps on the steps. Good evasion there. Oh, man! A shotgun drop kick sends Angelico to still ring steps. It's almost like he literally scouted his playbook. Ironically enough, the last time Blake Christian and Angelico shared the ring, it was a tag team match. It was the Swirl versus Spanish Announce Project, and the Swirl won. But that was all the way back in May. You can see right now Angelico grabbing his arm. And again, Blake Christian right now swirling through with the tope. A modified Frostberry. Again, Serpentico right now just watching on as a bystander. And Angelico, of course, 18 years involved in this game. Trained by Negro Navarra, Ultimo Dragon, and Black Terry. Former JGWF Berlin champion. No stranger, of course, the UK. Former WXW Shogun champion. Of course, promotion I discovered, Ring Comp, the Ring General Walter, and Killer Kelly, of course. See Angelico right now, his left arm being worked over. Oh, man, arm drag takedown on the apron. Shoulder first goes Angelico on the hardest part of the ring by Blake Christian. He said he wants to tear another man's arm off, and Blake Christian right now is very much in control of pushing towards that goal. And you think about, again, how pinnacle the arm is for your body. Losing all that upper strength, all that upper motion, all that feeling. You see right now how Angelico is trying to literally get feeling in his hands right there, just waving his fingers, possibly suffering a sustained stinger effect. I never had an injury, thankfully, but I know people have screwed up like the collarbone, for example, in the shoulder, and that is literally incapacitated that whole side of your body, made you feel numb. So can I imagine what Angelico's feeling right now with all this hyperextension work on the muscles? Hell, he's probably had a shoulder surgery once or twice. And Blake Christian right now, what's he looking for here? Look at us be on the road. Watch out! What down a lariat inside out! Man! Sudden impact, swirling Blake Christian upside down, inside out. Angelico right now, one-arm man in asking contest. Combination offense, rise and knee strike for the finish. Rocking Blake Christian up against the ropes, good stuff. But the man with the Navarro special, Irish whip reversal, and Angelico off the ropes. Blake Christian, whoop, And Hegel lands up and over. Again, those Yabe style maneuvers and the foot to the top of the crown of Blake Christian is the cover, hooking the far leg, and a 2 count. Personally, I wouldn't mind seeing a Hegel challenge Lee Moriarty again for the Brave Pure Championship. Bat drop suplex. And a cover, hooking the far leg, and a 2 count again. And Hegel is one of those that I don't think we see enough for his Yabe style or his technique, honestly. And at Hegel right now, we can beat Blake Christian. He put himself in the hunt for the Railroad Championship. Looking for the lethal injection. Blake Christian denied. Caught to a jumping flatliner. And Hegel back press with the far leg. Check out that 2. And again, favoring that shoulder. Still good deep cover. Possibly calling for the Navarro special. Trying to cross the legs, pushed up, and Hegel preventing collision with the turnbuckles. What got a Spanish fly? And Blake Christian got all of it too. No. Both men no strangers to, of course, that style. Springboard 450 splat for Blake Christian, though. Since the cover, hooking a single leg and 2 count again by Angelico. Very cocky cover right there. Oh no. Ah, there's the sacrifice. Snapping the left shoulder and arm back. Same thing he did to Bandito. Now Christian looking for the lethal injection. Dropping it across that cover. 2. That's it. Well, he may not fully broken an arm, but he still got a victory over a game competitor. As Blake Christian's winning ways continue to roll high here in Ring of Honor. And now, Serpentico's coming to the aid of his partner as looking like Blake Christian looking for further devastation. Lee Johnson, though, and a kick to the uprights with Serpentico. A low blow. Nothing honorable about this duel, I'll tell you that much. Stiff shot right below the belt. Again, Lee Johnson and Blake Christian just literally attacking. Already an injured and defeated opponent. I hope that they're proud of themselves, but I guess at the end of the day, Lee Johnson and Blake Christian did both get a singles win. And again, folks, Boxing Day, it will be one-on-one in the Hammerstein Ballroom the day after Christmas. Ring of Honor Pure Champion Lee Moriarty, Christian, the bearer of Pure Wrestling by Nigel McGuinness, will defend the gold against Commander on that Ring of Honor special. And of course, this continues now. And it's time for this Proving Ground battle. For those that don't know, Proving Ground matches are battles with a 10-minute time limit, and this woman might be able to party much longer than 10 minutes if she's sober or drunk. Session mark Martina, of course, taking on Red Velvet. If she surpasses the 10 minutes or pins the champion, she will get a future shot at the Ring of Honor Women's World TV Championship. Session mark Martinez, I think everyone will agree, is always the life of the party. For the first time in 5 years, Session mark Martina finds herself back in a Ring of Honor ring. Of course, the pandemic slowed things down quite a lot for her. Of course, Session mark Martina is currently the CPW Women's Champion and NLW Women's Champion, former Attack 24/7 Champion, and Over the Top Women's Champion. While Red Velvet defeated the CEO Mercedes Moné to regain her gold, as now a 2-time Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion and a 2025 singles record of 11-1. Avenging that loss to Mercedes Moné in an incredible match at Ring of Honor Final Battle. And again, Red Velvet stirring up a recipe for success, handing Mercedes Moné her third singles loss this year regarding a championship, and the first one that involved Mercedes Moné losing a championship. Mark too much brought to the bar plate. I was saying, I wonder how many bar tabs that she's actually let people pick up for her. And we'll see if Session Moth Martina earns her shot here for the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Championship. Representing this contest, Paul Turner, and Code of Honor at here too. And the bell rings are underway for this contest. Red Velvet, of course, defeating, of course, originally legit Lio Rush to win this title last year in the Hammerstein Barman final battle. And that Session Moth Martina's looking to stir it up with Red Velvet a different way here. I didn't know it was a nightclub. Oh, it kicked the midsection. Party's over. Inside the headlock here, Red Velvet taking this very seriously. And talk about all the fun that Session Moth brings to the ring, of course. And speaking of course, champions, the Forever Women's World Champion and, of course, the TBS Champion will challenge the Base of Wrath for the Women's World Tag Team Championships. There's been a lot of questions as of late when it comes to Session Moth Martina taking things more seriously, especially in Pro Wrestling Game cover 2 count only. Of course, Jamie Hayter and her had a fun time competing against Alexis Falcon and Riho at Pro Wrestling Eve 142, Let's Slam Santa in the Big Penny Social, literally just a couple weeks ago. Great homecoming, great return home, by the way, for Jamie Hayter, who's probably had a few pints, to say the least, while being here. A vicious split. There's Martina right now. Oh, nice high kick. Red Velvet, sidestep. Big uppercut here. Session Moth Martina, who's also been recently in the ring with, of course, TNA's Danny Luna. Big high kick. And right now, Session Moth Martina out of the corner with the drop kick. Missile drop kick. Why not the champion? Quickly right into the cover for the far leg. 2. No. Whew. That shotgun drop kick, though, turned the champion up and over like a pineapple upside down cake. Been a while since I've actually seen Session Moth Martina this sober. I mean, this in control. Good agility picked up there, but nice solo kick. And went home on the axe kick, though, for Red Velvet. Now Session Moth. Whoa! Anarchist suplex by Session Moth Martina and a 2 count. I love that ridiculous suplex into the swinging neck breaker variation. Keep focusing, Martina. Martina once again going up to the ropes, and Red Velvet meeting her in kind. Uh-oh. Oh! Iconoclasm 2! No! Ripping her down at the top rope by both her arms. Of course, Red Velvet right now, firmly in control. Again, proving ground bout to see if you have another challenger. Swing and a miss. Big forearm. A great combination here, but Red Velvet, of course, comes from us with a fan with a boxing background. Whoa, but Martina runs through with a clothesline. Cover up the far leg. 2! No! 2.5 there, getting closer and closer. And of course, Session Moth has to be aware of the clock. Gotta get this done before it's closing time. Drop toe hold, hung across the second rope. And Red Velvet running again with the knees to the shoulder blades to the back of the head. I don't think Session Moth Martina liked the taste of that. And Red Velvet, oh! She went for it, but missed. Trying to stir it up, the chef's kiss. And the gut wrench over the shoulder. Red Velvet able to escape there. To the back, and uh-oh. Stop! Straight out your mama's kitchen with overdrive, and Red Velvet gets the win tonight. Oh, well. Good win for Red Velvet, continuing her massive comeback, still being the Ring of Honor Women's World Television Champion again. Good proving ground defended so far. First proving ground defense for Red Velvet in her new run. But still, a fun and good effort by Session Moth Martina. Again, I want to see more Martina personally. I think Martina's also very underrated. And I think she also is her own worst critic. Good stuff, Martina. See you more in Pro Wrestling Games. Or Red Pro, if not both. Again, Red Velvet is just literally going through opponents more days than days to Christmas. And you can also hear more about Red Velvet's story to wrestling on the next close-up of Renee Paquette. Great international showcasing here for, of course, local talent in the UK and Red Pro. And speaking of champions, we're about to see the former three-time Ring of Honor Pure Champion test his own merit. Lio Yuta with an open challenge up next here at Global Wars United Kingdom. I can only wonder who the hell's going to answer that from the UK. Like, seriously. And of course, the Death Riders extension of ROH, including also Daniel Garcia. Lio Yuta and Daniel Garcia has been tag teaming lately in Ring of Honor. And currently, Lio Yuta is 12-0 this year. Of course, that's singles and tag action in Ring of Honor, folks. We know his record in AEW. If you don't, what the hell rock have you been under? Disciplined in combat, forged in combat, literally battled and bathed in blood, courtesy of Jon Moxley's Death Rider mission statement. Take it away, Francesca. I swear, Lio Yuta looks like he hasn't shaved the last year. Looks like from a far distance, your local chimney sweep. Think this guy first I saw, of course, this young man trained by Freshly Squeezed Orange Cassidy was previously a best friend, now a hired gun, a mercenary. And of course, the UK crowd has to hear him speak. Who all you want? Calls himself the greatest Miracle champion in history. Not to against Lee Moriarty, have your number. Well, you're claiming that he ended Bryan Danielson's career. Give me a break, dude. No, you didn't. That was Jon Moxley. It was Warrior's death. And he's issuing an open challenge to anyone in the back. Ring of Honor. Oh, wow. Dog shit country. Well, there you go. There's the respect to the UK. Not. And let's see who shows up here tonight. For confidence. Well, no, I mean, the UK's got a lot of people. You gotta be kidding me! I know that music! Bring me Oasis! Answering the open challenge! Former Ring of Honor Pure Real World Champion, Nigel McGuinness! All right, I'm for this. I should have known Nigel was going to wrestle again in his own damn country. The former Ring of Honor World and Pure Champion who took freaking Lee Moriarty not once but twice to the limit, including a 30-minute Iron Man match, not to mention faced Zack Sabre Jr. for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship earlier this year. Put the entire British Wrestling division on the map for a generation. Made a staple of the Techers that Zack Sabre Jr. only escalated. And I know Nigel McGuinness is not going to insult his own country, let alone have his own country being insulted by Lio Yuta. Looks like Nigel's got Mike. Wheeler. One American voice. I mean, it is fair. I'm going to do a challenge. So, I just have it up right here. So here I am. How convenient for Nigel McGuinness. Yeah. I may have his brand death, but I don't think umbrage that you think you're the man in his career. Because that man's the Batman of my Joker. You give me the opportunity for some revenge. Wow. Well, Yuta, of course, who's been very vocal about being the man that ended Bryan Danielson's career, Nigel McGuinness' greatest rival. But much like searching him on that page, Nigel and Bryan are Batman and Joker. Bell rings right away for this contest. Let me Bryce Rensburg. I cannot believe I'm seeing Nigel McGuinness wrestle again. This is awesome. And carnival time. You figure about again how much you hate somebody, but you garner a respect for what they do to you in the ring when they face you one-on-one. And Brian Danielson, as we guess, wrote the Book of Honor during the early days of Ring of Honor for several years, fighting over the Ring of Honor World and Pure Championship. And then, of course, Nigel McGuinness knows how to get out of a cabana. I guarantee you that. Of course, Nigel McGuinness coming off that 30-minute war that went into overtime, that Iron Man match against Lee Moriarty, christening him with the original Ring of Honor Pure Championship, passing the torch of Pure Wrestling to Tiger Style. And Yuta right now trying to spin free, and Nigel McGuinness is not going to let that happen, I assure you. Again, if you have not watched Final Battle, folks, you owe it to yourselves as fan professional wrestling to do so. If nothing else, Nigel McGuinness, Lee Moriarty. As Will Yuta thinks he's the greatest pro wrestler in Ring of Honor history. Yeah, he didn't hold the Ring of Honor Pure Championship for 350 days. He didn't hold the Ring of Honor World Championship for 545 days. And you damn sure have not been involved in wrestling for 12 years at 49 years of age with a renewed spirit for professional wrestling. How about Madison Rand? How many she's got left? How many more Nigel McGuinness got left? This has been the most rejuvenated I've ever seen in his career since TNA. When he was Desmond Wolfe taking on Kurt Angle. Again, Nigel picking things out here. The squat, the standing waist lock applied. Of course, being trained by Johnny Saint, looking for that jawbreaker. Lariat, really good able to duck underneath it. Gets the back elbow, though. Now Yuta looking for the rebound. And Yuta trying to outsmart Nigel. Double leg takedown. Double leg, wait a minute! The crossface, dropping it Nigel McGuinness! Armstrong nowhere to go, and Yuta turns his body desperately to the ropes to force the break. It's amazing how quick Nigel McGuinness can transition on the mat or even on his feet. And in fact, Nigel McGuinness only had 720 matches in his career. Of course, after a short period of time, wrestling, of course, did more punishment than it was rewarding. And of course, we never thought we'd ever see him wrestle again. Trained by, of course, Liz Thatcher, Robbie Brookside, encouraged by Johnny Saint, Dave Taylor. I'm surprised they didn't make this a pure match. Up kick to the top rope, though, to the throat of Nigel McGuinness. And mocking Brian Danielson, saying, I have till 5. And dropping the knee right now, trying to knock the win. Here's the cover, 2 count only with the lateral. Not even going for the ropes, so how close he was. And of course, Yuta didn't even go to hook a limb. He just went for the lateral. And Yuta, of course, right now, trying to really embarrass a friend and a rival of Brian Danielson, and the UK for that matter, first himself. Out of the second row. And drop the elbow. Cover over the far leg. It's a 2 count. This is referee Bryce Rensburg. And you see right now the leg across the throat of Nigel there. Of course, the Death Riders will take every sort of advantage they can outside the Continental Classic, while John Moxley has been humbled by his current state of affairs, considering how simple this tournament is, but how much it brings off everybody. Of course, John Moxley right now stands at 6 points. And again, folks, we'll be continuing coverage of the Continental Classic this Saturday with Holiday Bash Collision, so please stay tuned for that with us as well. As we've been covering the entire tournament from the beginning, and we'll be doing it all the way to the end. Going with the wrist lock, single leg, ankle lock applied, rolls through. Nigel again, rolling Yuta through. There it is, that vicious stomp to the upper deltoid of Yuta's left arm. Obviously looking for that London Dungeon or shades of Shing the Gates by Liverpool's #1, Zach Gibson. Now he's going to try and rip that arm out of its socket. Oh, man. Hyperextending armbar, draping armbar. And stomping away. Hyperextending the elbow. Big knife edge chop, turned Nigel around. Didn't really feel it. Because Bandito also retained, as we said, the Ring of Honor World Championship. Athena retained her Ring of Honor Women's World Championship. That's under the eye. And Chains of Promotions retained the Ring of Honor 6-man tag team championships. And let's not forget, he is still a cheeky bastard at the end of the day. Nigel McGuinness was as dirty as they come back then. And again, folks, not only do we have Collision this Saturday, this Wednesday, AW down at 34th Street. Dynamite Diamond Ring Final. Ring of Honor World Champion Bandito takes on AEW Unified Champion Ricochet. The winner of that match will get an AEW Men's World Title match at Maximum Collision next year. Again, right now, just tearing apart the arm. Uh-oh. And Nigel pushing back with his lower back. Trying to bridge back as much as he can, but Yuta turning his body to prevent the hyperextension. Smart move. Oh, but gives his arm, and Nigel might have just popped it. There's a seamless transition set up by Nigel McGuinness. Knife chop. We're talking about not freaking Zaxby Jr. being reactive. Well, Nigel McGuinness is deceptive and proactive. Big uppercut. We're going thrust, of course, the throat thrust. And Nigel McGuinness scouting with a Yuta now with the round of the corner. Oh, man, a drop kick out of the corner by Yuta. It's a cover, hook on the far leg on Nigel. Gets a 2.5. And this time, Yuta might be feeling a little bit more desperate. Now trying to go over in the combination. Nigel McGuinness is not flat on the mat, though. Smart move by Nigel here, alleviating some of the pressure. Still a lot of pressure being applied to the shoulder blades in the full Nelson. The fundamental move, of course, of the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. Nigel rolling through, though. Yuta down, shoulders down. Oh, and forced to break. Almost caught there. Uh-oh, now the hammering elbows. Trying to wear out Nigel here, knock the wind out of him. Again, all that damage done to the left arm, though. Cover, hook of the leg, and kick out 2 by Nigel. And these shoulders and these covers getting tighter here for Yuta. I think Yuta realizes right now he might be on life support with only one arm here. Again, Nigel right now. Nato, of course, who won the technical spectacle to earn the opportunity, of course, to challenge Lee Moriarty to see who was the better wrestler. Irish whip right now, and Nigel looking to follow up again with the run out of the corner. Yuta with the side step. It's a great block, though. And face first goes Yuta, top turnbuckle. Oh! Combination offense with the spinal tap kick and the takedown cover. 2 count only. That toe kick to the point of the spine, and then the reverse DDT planting the forearm down on Yuta. Driving him down to the mat. Throat thrust again by Nigel. I'm just waiting for him to hit that jawbreaker there, that London Dungeon. And again, with the run up, step up the turnbuckle. There's the round European uppercut, launching Yuta to the top rope. And right now, looking for maybe the Tower of London. Oh, and Yuta rakes the eyes of Nigel McGuinness. And right now, Yuta might be looking for the psycho knee. If Nigel McGuinness turns around and gets up to his feet, he might be in for a rude awakening. What shot and lawyer man with a lariat. Cover 2. Oh, damn it. The south side lariat gets 2.5. Now going after that left arm, turning him over. London Dungeon. Locked in, but Yuta again, great roll through. World now looking for the seatbelt, possibly cover. Shoulders aren't down, Poor positioning by Yuta. And great call by Bryce Brensberg, noticing the left shoulder was not down the mat at all. And right now, again, Nigel McGuinness with the height advantage here. Armringer takedown again on the damaged left arm by Nigel. And that shoulder is hurting with a Yuta here. Now looking for the London Dungeon takeover. Driving the knee in the lower spine. He's got it! And knee in the back. All the damage done earlier. And that arm literally being contorted in the double wrist lock. Trying to find a way to the ropes. And Nigel aware of it, though. Trying to stand between the ropes. Bringing Yuta towards center. Yuta trying to find a way. Cover. 2. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Yuta with the friggin' fishing on the nose into the crossface. And Nigel right now in the center of the ring. Escrim across the bridge of the nose and the eyes. Will Nigel tap out from his country? Nigel fading. Fading out, though. Again, the incredible transitional wrestling. And a crowd fake now by Nigel. This is why I love professional wrestling, damn it. Again, right now, the only thing Wheeler can use is his two good legs to find a way to force a rope break. Again, finding a way for the break. Both men creating separation. Now to back to his feet first. Yuta went for the kick. Back leg trip. Looking for the ankle lock and pushed off the ropes, the drop down, and Nigel off the ropes. Oh, both men collide. Meanwhile, Nigel jawbreaker Lariat! Cover him! Cover again! Two! Got him! Damn good stuff! And a hell of a moment for Nigel McGuinness returning home with a win and Ring of Honor in front of his countrymen. Cheers to that one. And one of the figures of Ring of Honor and British wrestling with a hell of a homecoming. And again, we will be back with Ring of Honor after Christmas on Boxing Day Brawl live from the Hammerstone Ballroom, where honor will continue to be real and the fights will continue to ensue. Thank you all so much for tuning into this fun little coverage. I hope you enjoyed. Again, please subscribe, comment, tell a friend. Stay tuned for the rest of my fam to cover Wrestling Revolver. And I'll see you guys Saturday for a Holiday Bash Collision. Continued coverage of the Continental Classic and Mercedes defends the Rev Pro Undisputed British Women's Heavyweight Championship against insert name here. Until next time, make a positive impact in life. Happy wrestling, everybody. And above all else, just have a good night. Thanks for tuning in, as honor once again was proven to be real. I love this freaking shit.